Waiting for Superman. We saw the documentary getting lots of attention all across the country. Davis Guggenheim with this. And you're a featured player in this particular documentary. And it really gets to the heart of what's happening with our schools. And I'll tell you, we're going to play a clip here. And it's an amazing story of this young man named Anthony, who's basically setting this whole thing up where his life is dependent upon the role of a ball to determine what school he goes to. Folks, check this out.
I want to go to college to get an education. If I have kids, I want kids to be in this environment.
What?
Like around here. I mean, I want my kids to have better than what I had.
I'm just so afraid for him. I cry for him sometimes because I know he can easily be influenced to do things that he shouldn't do.
I stayed back 1 grade, and it was in the 2nd grade.
Why?
Because my father had passed.
Next year, Anthony's class will move up to junior high. Most will go to John Philip Sousa, which the Washington Post called an academic sinkhole. If Anthony goes to Sousa, odds are he will enter high school 3 to 5 grade levels behind. Anthony's class visits the Seed School, the first urban public boarding school in the country.
To come to Seed, geography and luck, that's it. You have to live in the district, you have to pull out a bingo ball, call your number.
It's bittersweet to me. If I get in, they give me a better chance in life. But if I don't, I just be with my friends.
You see the cages up here. It's a random selection. You all have your numbers, right?
Let's get started. $20. $10.
It was stunning to sit there and you look into this kid's eyes and he understands exactly what's at stake.
Absolutely. If you talk to folks right now at the Seed School where Anthony is, he's thriving. He's doing extraordinarily well.
I saw this piece on Friday in the New York Post. Grade shock, regular schools, top charters. Okay? And so you have teachers union quoted, and basically they're saying, see, the regular schools are doing better than these charters, so the charter school movement is failing. When you hear that, what do you say?
It drives me insane. It literally drives me insane because these are
public schools.
These are charter schools are public schools, public dollars, and the same children that we serve. And you know, the unions and other folks really try to sort of say, oh, the charter schools are over there, bad charter schools, no, that sort of thing. And that's just not the case. Now, are all charter schools excellent? No. But for the ones that are doing amazing things for kids, and in this city we have many of them, right? Not only Seed, but KIPP and E.L. Haynes and D.C. Prep and other schools that are doing great things for kids, they don't always have the resources that they need to be able to expand and grow. So we should be making sure that those schools can go to scale. In New York City, for the longest time, the successful charters like Jeffrey Canada's couldn't grow because there was a cap on the number of charter schools that you can have. Oh, you can have some good schools, but you can't have too many, right? I mean, that's insane.
You talk about the role of parents in this, but I'm going to throw a little twist in here. President Barack Obama was talking to Matt Lauer, and he talked about not sending his daughters to D.C. public schools. First of all, for you, how important is it for parents to be absolutely invested in this process, and not just say it's upon the teachers, but do you also think it's a problem, even in this city, when you have political leaders, including the president, who talk about public education, but many of them do not send their children to public schools? If they were involved in public schools here, other parts of the country, do you think the school system would be better if their kids were in these schools?
I mean, yes and no. Here's the thing. When I was watching the president talking to Matt Lauer and he gave that answer, because I sort of started to tense up when I heard at Washington, D.C. public schools, and I thought, oh my gosh, what's going to happen now? And when he just straight up said, no, it's not good enough for my kids, I said, good for you. He was being honest. He wasn't giving a political answer and that sort of thing. He was just being honest and saying, no, they are not good enough. Now, he said, yes, they're making progress. It's so good, it's so good that they're coming along, but it's still not good enough for my kids. That's an important thing for people to realize, is that right now, again, going back to always wanting to talk about the good things, we have to face the reality that for many, if not most, of the parents in Washington, D.C. today, the quality of education that we're providing is not good enough for their children. And that is what gives us the burning platform for more. And so I don't want people like the president or anyone else to send their kids to DCPS if they think that they're not going to get the best education possible there. I want them to continue to make the choices that they should. But I also want choice not to be reserved for those who can afford it.
Right.
I want choice to be available to all families.
And I'm glad you mentioned choice. And when I was on Air Force One with the president last year, we discussed education, and I made it clear to him then that I disagreed vehemently with his opposition to school choice, to vouchers. Do you believe that it was still a mistake by the president and Secretary of Education Arne Duncan, and basically following the lead of Dick Durbin, senator from Illinois, to get rid of the vouchers that were established for D.C. students? Do you believe that vouchers should be a part of the overall education conversation and not simply be thrown out because people say, well, if all can't go, then some can't go?
So I look at everything from the vantage point of a mother, too, because I have two kids who are in D.C. public schools. And here's how I see it. When a mother from Anacostia comes to me, and she's done everything right, she said, I looked at my neighborhood school, the results are not good. So I applied to the lottery, and my kids didn't get in. And then she looks at me and says, now what? What can I do? Right? And I don't have a spot for her children at one of our schools that is performing well, a school that I would feel comfortable sending my children to. Then who am I to deny that woman a $7,500 voucher where she may be able to send her children to a Catholic school or
and
something
she's paying taxes.
Right, because she is paying taxes. So even though, people say, well, how can you, be for that program because you lose out when the kid, but this is not about me winning and losing. This is about children getting what they need and families getting what they need. So am I ever going to look that lady in the eye and say, no, you can't have this voucher, you can't go because I need you to help me fix our school? No, because I would never deal with that. I would never accept that for my own children.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. Again, I know, this is a contentious issue, and a lot of people are saying, oh, horrible job, needs to go away. But I think at the end of the day, you have to go back to the most important thing. Have we seen improvement? Are kids learning? Are they getting better? Are administrators and teachers, are they more personally invested? And are we removing obstacles from educating kids? That, to me, I think is the most important thing.
Absolutely.